Take advantage of high rates currently offered on these accounts. As I just mentioned, I do not read these articles ahead of time, which also going to help you prepare for a potential recession. Oh no, scare tactic. Key savings statistics. Excuse me, y'all. The majority of households, 98.6%, have a transaction account. Thank God, such as a savings account. My goodness. The 1.4% of households, they just have no accounts at all. How are you operating in 2024? Interesting. Singles and younger adults tend to have lower transaction account balances. True. Those people usually have less money. Less than half of U.S. households, 44%, said they were able to cover an unexpected $1,000 expense like a car repair or medical bill as of December 2023 polling. So almost half people don't have $1,000. When they're saying pay for it, my assumption is that's cash, not using a credit card. That's usually how they come to that statistic. Most American adults, about 70%, haven't seen an increase in their emergency savings balance over the past year. And that's interesting because remember, during the panorama, we had that huge spike in savings rate for various reasons that we don't need to talk about right now. But we did see an increase in the savings rate. Now we're coming out. I would say 2024 is the official, first I would say official last year. I would consider last year the first non-pandemic year, but 2024 is definitely the first, non-pandemic year. My bad. Last year wasn't because we still had those student loan forbearance going on. So this is technically the first, like, straight up, okay, no more panorama stuff going on, most likely. But 2023 kind of was. But as you see, the savings rate has already dropped after those 1 to 2 years, 2020 to 2022. So those 3 years of, you see that savings rate spike. Can't remember exactly how long it lasts, but those are roughly deemed the panorama years. But you see 70% of people have not seen an increase in their balance at all last year. Slightly over, and that's, you could say, due to inflation, even though inflation was crazy high more so in 2022, not in 2023. Slightly over half of U.S. adults have more emergency savings than they do credit card debt as of December 2023. Okay, so the people who are, this is where it gets confusing. So 44% of people don't have $1,000. However, slightly over half, so 51% or more, do have more emergency savings than they do credit card debt, which is, they could have, $500 in credit card debt unless they have $501 in emergency savings, right? I mean, what's that? What are the actual cash amounts? Almost 72% of adults surveyed in June 2023 say they are not currently financially secure. My God. So that's about that 70%, where we say that about 70%. Yeah, this must be the same exact people. We're not increasing our savings, so we don't feel financially secure. How much does the average household have in savings? I remember I got to start not taking breaks, but one, slow down because I talk too fast, but two, I take just little pauses, makes it easier for me to chop up the videos. Anyway, while the median bank account balance is $8,000, according to the latest SCF data, the average or mean balance is actually much higher at $62,410. The median balance may give a clear picture of how much U.S. households have saved, since the average figure can be skewed significantly by a small number of outliers with high bank accounts. What do you mean by median account balance? Like when people get paid? I want to be very clear. From my experience, the median account balance is, let's just say, not $1,000. This is from 2012 to 2018, this data in my head, but it's damn sure not no 8,000. I get what they're saying with the mean, right? So I use the median a lot of times over the mean / average, but the median, I don't know who I don't know who they surveyed. I guess it did get this. I mean, SCF just got this information. SCF also breaks down average bank account balances by household type. Couples with no children have the highest median balance. So couples with no children have the highest median balance, but then they also have the most student loan debt. What is up with this data? While single parents have the lowest. It makes sense because they got single income. Again, the average balance is skewed by outliers, so the median balance may okay. Here we go. We got household type. Single with one or more children. $2,400 is their median account balance. The mean balance, though, is almost $17,000. Single without children, $4,000 for a median, and then $19,000 for the average. Couple with one or more children, $12,500 for the median. 73,000 for the mean, and then couple without children, 16,000 the median, and then 103,000 for the mean. Only includes those under 55 years old. Makes sense when you're going to factor in, quote unquote, having children. I would say this: it's going to be interesting to see, especially with millennials, their situation with delaying having children or even having less children when they do decide to have children. So it'll be interesting to see what the data looks like if we end up seeing, since our generation, I would say Gen X, but millennials and beyond, where you're going to usually have, two people that are career focused, the husband and the wife in the household, and what those incomes look like and that wealth building looks like in comparison to people who are married but end up deciding to have kids, and maybe one person ends up being career focused for a certain period of time because the other person, stays home and their focus is, getting the children. The focus is on the children until, all the kids are at least, in school, 5, 6 years old once they get to first grade. It's going to be interesting to see how that data plays out over the next 20 to 30 years with the millennial generation and beyond, with the situation we're seeing here. We're saying, they have more savings. Yeah, more savings. They have drastically more in the average, but the median, 12,500, 16,000, not that much difference. So it's going to be interesting. I would say this: it's a hit or miss. I have to say that I don't have everybody's, at all the single people, at all the people I know, with kids / without kids / single, married or couple. I don't have everything in my head. It depends. Excuse me. I don't have enough data. That's why I guess you got to do a couple thousand people. I don't have enough data just off the top of my head for that. All right. Average savings by age. Households with older individuals tend to have higher account balances. Makes sense. You've been working longer, further along in your career, up to about twice as high than younger households, though the gap was higher in previous years. Interesting. So here, since it's under 55, when we're saying couples without children versus with children, well, we're going to get into it, but I'm interested to see if that might be because, the people who are older and have no children have more money than people who are younger with children, right? You have that in this, this whole pot. There's people under 25, 55. I guess this is 18 to 55 years old. Yeah, it says 35. Okay. Different data here. Though that gap was higher in previous years, okay, we're talking about the gap between older individuals having higher account balances. There were two exceptions. Household with individuals ages 45 to 54, so right in the middle of the sandwich generation, they had higher median balances than those with members ages 55 to 64. And households with individuals ages 65 to 74 had mean balances higher than those over age 74. Okay, I'm just going to read the table because it's too much. All right, less than 35 years old, the median is going to be 5,400. The average is going to be 20,000. 35 to 44, 7,500. 41,000 for the mean. 45 to 54 is 8,700. And then 71,000 for the mean. 55 to 64 is 8,000. So they have less saved than 45 to 54 for the mean. And then 72,000 saved though for the mean. Excuse me, the median is 8,000. And the mean is 72,000. So I keep saying average. Then 65 to 74, these people have the most saved. But again, these people with no children. So when I say no children, in theory, their children are out of the house. 13,400, and then mean bank account balance 100,000. And then 74 or older, 10,000 saved for the median, and then the mean is 82,000, almost $83,000 saved.